Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Strike Zone with Manager George Tsamis. Strike Zone is a program that gives you, the fans, the opportunity to ask the St. Paul Saints skipper questions each week, where George will provide you with his insightful answers related to the Saints, baseball, or whatever questions you'd like to ask about life in general. This week we have some interesting questions related around George's pet peeves in baseball, plus a wide variety of updates on the team and progress of individual players. So we look forward to you joining us this week, and let's get right to Strike Zone. So George, let's first of all begin with a player update on injuries that you have and moves that you've been making this week.
Okay, Steve Nippert had successful surgery the other day, and he came in yesterday. He looked good. He's just slowly getting back into it, and I'm guessing he's going to come back in again today to see us. And he wants to play by the end of the month, so we'll see how that pans out. And I'm glad it's not a year-ending injury, which we thought it was, but so hopefully by the end of the month he'll be able to play again.
What do we think? Willie Argo is back, and
Willie Argo's fine. He's back playing. Kwasnicka's back playing, but the ankle's still bothering him, but he's playing through it. Joey Pashork is he took batting practice today. He felt good, so he may be a day or two. Joey Pashork.
Alonzo Harris looked good yesterday.
Alonzo Harris is fine. He's stolen some bases, hit some home runs. He's playing center field fine. And Sam Moss, which we know about, he may be towards the end of the month as well. We're hoping.
Excellent. Starting then with Ben from Mendota Heights, would like to know, with your team getting healthy, what are some of the keys you believe that have kept your team winning while players like Harris and Argo were out?
I'll tell you what, we're playing good together, and we've had to fill those spots with some young guys and guys out of retirement, and guys just come in, and this team plays good together. So, they just, we don't. It's not like we brought in a bunch of superstars to replace them. It's just we've had some younger guys, and the middle of the order it stayed pretty solid throughout, and. But the younger guys, here and there, you got a big hit there, and you just need different guys to get it done.
I'm curious, you brought back some guys that have been with the team 2 and 3 years ago.
Yep.
Do you just kind of keep them, on speed dial or something, and then if need be, how does that work out?
Yeah, it's the thing with Ronnie Borkman, today's his last day. Obviously with the injuries, and it's pretty tough to find guys in the middle of the season. And with Ronnie Borkman, he has a full-time job back home, and I sent him a text message the other morning, just joking. And he said, "You're playing third base tomorrow, and we have injuries," and he took me up on it, which I was surprised, and that's exactly how that played out. And he does a good job playing third base, but today it'll be his last day, so he can go back to work. And then Dan Kazrowski, he's been retired for a couple of years, and same spot with all the injuries. We asked him if he wanted to play. He said he did, and he's done a decent job. He plays a real good second base, and it's nice. He's hit a couple home runs.
Yeah, he's come up big for you. In
Absolutely.
A couple spots here,
Absolutely.
So gotta like that. Let's see. Thomas from Delano would like to know, Fargo has signed a few of your players, so he wants to know, are they trying to be the Northwest Saints?
No, I think sometimes he's in the same spot too. In the middle of the season, when you lose players and you have injuries, and it's tough to find quality players out there, and it just happened to work out that way. They've signed a couple guys that we had, and we've signed guys that they've had. That's just the way the independent ball thing works. It's when you need guys, you take what you can get, and sometimes they just happen to play for other teams.
With the draft just going on, does that mean that more players become available because they're filling?
I don't think so. We all get our emails from a million college players, and they all say they can play and they can play at this level, but some of them can't play at this level. It's a big jump from playing in Division III college to come into play here against AA, AAA players. It's tough fill, and some guys get the chance and some guys don't.
I just didn't know if because let's say the Twins draft some guys and they sign them, so they have to kind of clear out some of their minor leagues, I would assume, to bring those guys in. Do those guys then become available to you, or?
Well, anytime a guy gets released or a guy that doesn't get drafted, anytime that happens, we all go after the best guys we can. We get some. Sometimes we get some. Sometimes we don't.
Sharon from Burnsville would like to know, are you surprised that Major League clubs have not signed any of your players so far this season?
We've had a couple calls. We have had a couple calls, and we thought one was going to happen. We did get a call on Willie Argo one time, but he was still in the DL with a groin injury, so they kind of backed off, and maybe they're just seeing how he's doing. But it's happened over the years so many times where we have gotten guys signed and nothing's happened yet, but there's several guys on this team that could be playing in AA or higher somewhere.
Vinny DeFazio, I would think in particular.
Yeah, he's swinging the bat real well, and he's doing a good job, and you just never know.
Barb from Plymouth says that her dad used to say that if you aren't cheating, you aren't trying. So what do you think of that idea?
You know, you go play the game the right way. You play hard and you do stuff the right way, and you shouldn't have to cheat. So just go play the game the right way.
Jake from Rosemount would like to know what your favorite football teams are.
Whoever's on my fantasy football team, that's who I want.
Do you play online leagues or just?
Yeah, I just enjoy it. I really love the NFL, and I really enjoy watching it, and the fantasy football makes it better.
I agree with you. I agree with you completely. Tyler from South St. Paul would like to know, a lot of players play winter ball. Do you think there's a point where their players just play too much?
Position players, I don't. Maybe pitchers once in a while, if they throw a lot of innings and then they go to winter ball and throw a lot more, maybe that's tough. But I think if you have a chance to play winter ball, go ahead and do it. But as long as you just don't throw too many innings and then go down there and throw too many innings.
So like a guy like Dustin Crenshaw, you wouldn't have problems playing Australia?
Yeah, and he did play, but he was in the bullpen over there too. And no, I think and in this case, it's worked out pretty good. He threw on 3 days rest last year a bunch, went down there and pitched in out of relief, and then came back here, and he's throwing well. So, yeah, the way he did it works.
Excellent. Trey from Minneapolis would like to know, what do you think of the job that Paul Molitor has done with the Twins so far this season?
I think he's doing an excellent job, and I think Ron Gardenhire does an excellent job too. And you know what? This is the way the game works. Your players do good, the manager's a genius. The players don't do good, then the manager's a dummy. And that's the way it works in all sports, baseball, football, basketball, and you're as good as your players. But Paul Molitor is doing an excellent job, and you love some of the things he's done. But Ron Gardenhire is the same thing. He did an excellent job too, and it just didn't work out the last few years.
I'm actually surprised he doesn't have a manager job.
Yeah,
somewhere.
maybe he doesn't want one. Maybe he wants a year off, you know. I love Gardy too. I think Gardy's excellent. No, that's right. Let's go.
Let's see. Henry would like to know what your biggest pet peeves in baseball are.
You know, I know you asked me this one time if I was a commissioner for one day, if there was something I would change. And I think especially lately, I've noticed it. No way the fans should vote for the AllStar Game.
Okay.
You know, I think that's ridiculous. And seeing all those Royals in there, and the Royals have great players, but there's no way that should happen. And I don't know if that's what the question's about in the big leagues or here. They shouldn't be allowed to vote, and there's no way the AllStar Game should determine home field advantage. That blows my mind that they have that rule in there. The best record should get home field advantage, in my opinion. Now, if that was your question about that, then that's the answer. If it was about during the games here, then I'll have to. Maybe we can do that one next week.
I think that is kind of tough that the Royals. Well, some of their guys are having really good seasons.
Excellent, but some guys, come on, it's not right. Dozier should be. Dozier's having a great year second base for the Twins, and I don't know. It just. I don't feel that it's nice that the fans vote, but it shouldn't be who votes the most as the starter in the AllStar Game. That's ridiculous to me. And home field advantage in the World Series should be determined by the best record in the league, not who wins a one-game exhibition game that nobody cares about. Especially
when they're trying to get 35 different guys in the game, too.
Absolutely. That's one thing I just don't understand. But it doesn't matter what I think. It's just my opinion.
And a good one. Let's see. Carl from St. Cloud would like to know what you say to players that have made mental mistakes during a game.
We all make them. We all make mistakes. We all mess things up, and you just got to tell them. You try to tell them what they did wrong, and you hope they don't make the same mistake again.
Mom, who wants to know, would like to know from you is if you think that there's an age that a player should focus on one sport over the rest of them.
You know what? It's growing up. You like playing more than one sport, and if you can, you go ahead and do it. And I think when you're young, you play as many as you can, as many as you enjoy. But you have to enjoy it. And I don't think anybody should play a sport they don't enjoy. If they don't enjoy it, don't play. But eventually, as you get older, it'll play out. Excuse me. It'll play out that whichever one you're best at, that's the one you go with. But when you're younger, just play as many as you can, as long as you enjoy them.
It seems like with all these crazy quarterback camps that are in the 6th and 7th grade and things now, that they're trying to really push a player into one sport right off the bat. What do you think about that?
Well, everybody wants to be a quarterback, and I think that'd be great. But everybody's not going to be a quarterback, and it's nice to have them play, but they have to want to play. They can't just go play because you want them to play. They have to want it, they have to enjoy it, and they have to want to be there.
Makes perfect sense. Let's see, Lewis from Memphis would like to know, do you coach your players' kids as well? And if you do, what kind of things do you show them?
I do not. I haven't had that happen. Most of the players' kids are real young. They're 3, 4 years old, so I think they're a little bit too young.
Tom from Farmington asked about the Kansas City Royals having so many players.
Hey, there you go. I didn't even see that question in there, and you know what? I already covered that one. They're excellent, man. You love what they did last year in their run, and they have some excellent players on the team, but I mean, I don't really follow the All-Star voting. I just remember seeing it the other day that they had like 6 starters, and I just don't think it's right. And again, that's just my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right, but that's my opinion.
Plus, they're going to probably have 3 guys from their bullpen as
well. Yeah,
well,
their bullpen's outstanding. They can pitch, and their bullpen is the reason why they were in the World Series last year.
What is the process you wonder when to select your coaches?
You know what? They both played for me, and they're both excellent guys, and they both want to win. That's with both of them. It's about winning. They care about winning, and both of them had great careers, and you want guys like that, and I'm glad to have both of them. Cindy
from Anoka would like to ask as our last question, is Bill Murray as cool on TV and movies as he seems?
Absolutely. Nicest guy, funniest guy. He's good to sit down and chat with. He's like a normal guy, and he's just as funny as you see him in the movies. That's how funny he is when you talk to him. He's an excellent guy to have, and I'm lucky enough to get the chance to know him, and he's been excellent to me, and I'm glad he's one of our guys.
Excellent. Thank you, George.
Okay, no problem.
We want to thank you for joining us on Strike Zone this week. If you have your own questions you'd like to ask the St. Paul Saints skipper, please send them to us in an email at askgeorge@minorleaguesportsreport.com. Once again, that's askgeorge@minorleaguesportsreport.com. Please have your questions to us by Friday at noon, so we give the St. Paul Saints skipper a couple of days to review questions before we actually tape the show on Sunday. We thank you for joining us this week. I'm Rob Pannier from the Minor League Sports Report, and we look forward to seeing you next week